It's Vancouver all around, baby. Today, we're talking about Jessica Alba? We're also talking about Zeev Buium. We're talking about Quinn Hughes. We've got a number of articles to go over when it comes to just some news and notes and what have yous. Stuff that isn't really like super big, but still stuff that I think is interesting to dive into on a very, very hot July 21st. Let's start things out by talking about Zeev Buium in a post made on the province by Ben Kuzma yesterday. Take a look at this. Why Zeev Buium is pumped for a breakout season despite the Vancouver Canucks rebuild. I've always said it's harder to play 12 minutes than 25. When you play more and are feeling free, you just grow. And I can't wait to get going, Buium said. Zeev Buium, by the way, was a part of the Vancouver Canucks group that ended up changing their numbers earlier this week. And if we take a look at it, where's the post? New number. We had a number of guys, not new Omega releases, sorry. New number. Yeah, so we did have ourselves Buium. He is going to be number 8. Marco Rossi is going to be 23. Filipino is going to 77, and Jonathan Lekaramaki is going to become 88. So, new set of numbers here. Buium taking old Connor Garland's number 8 on the roster. This article by Ben Kuzma goes over a number of things that Buium has to say about how the Vancouver Canucks are transitioning from last year's bad season into this year's development season. The blossoming Vancouver Canucks defenseman is buoyed at what awaits this fall, even amid the arduous climb to respectability, because opportunity to reset with a new hockey ops department and acquisitions resonates with the driven 20-year-old Buium, and even before those moves, he could see light at the end of the dark tunnel. Those last 10 or 12 games for me were hard to find motivation when you really have nothing to play for, but it's human nature and competitiveness to want to play for something. It's hard with the position we were in, but I got a lot out of them. Confidence in my game, and I started to play more. I've always said it's harder to play 12 than 25. Now, we also have to acknowledge the fact that those last Vancouver Canucks games on the year were actually pretty good. Like, sure, there were a bunch of losses thrown in there, but all those shootouts and those overtimes and the fact that they were actually stringing together some points, sure, it didn't matter. They were so far down in the standings that they were not going to catch up to Chicago in second last. But the Vancouver Canucks were giving fans reason to cheer. And Zeev Buium found reason to cheer as well because of that setting. Prepare for worst-case scenarios on the ice when you're really tired, Buium admitted. That is his off-season training mission. When stuck in your own end, the big focus is conditioning. Get to a point where you feel so good to play 30 minutes and not feel like you're gassed or the legs are cramping. Last year, we got caught for a minute or 1.5 minutes, and you need that extra gear to help break out pucks. Buium showed potential on a first pairing with Filipino and a first-unit quarterback on the power play. He also regularly referenced the need for team chemistry and how developing a culture that is inclusive and not divisive. It was hammered home by co-president of Hockey Ops Henrik Sedin in his first media address. They understand the patience behind being a young team, said Buium, not accepting losses, but focusing on the culture, little things that help. Everybody knows my stance on it. It's the foundation of everything. And if you don't have it, you're not going anywhere. Yeah, it's all about the culture, man. It's all about the culture, as we had learned from Quinn Hughes and his captaincy. More on him later, but yeah, let's just go out there and finish off some of these quotes from Zeev Buium. He speaks about the Carolina Hurricanes. It was cool to see them lift that brick every day because it weighs the same as the Stanley Cup. It had a greater meaning in the end. Hopefully, I can build it. He also went out there and spoke about the additions of guys like Luke Schenn and Alexiak being brought in on D, and Brendan Gallagher up front. I love it, said Buium. They have so much experience and playing against them sucks. They're a pain, and you definitely don't want to be going down in the offensive zone against them. It's being huge And so is not getting pushed around. In Gallagher, you play against a ball of energy who doesn't care who you are or what size you are. And hey, honestly, this is pretty aware. Zeev Buium, I know, most NHL players know of other players around the league, but Buium's got a pretty good scouting report on his brand new Vancouver Canucks teammates. It's that Gen Z nature in him, actually going out there and watching the sport that he plays and enjoys. The article then talks about Buium and his contract. He is eligible for an extension, and the Canucks have until September 15th if they want to sign Buium for 8 years. He says, "My whole career, I really don't think about it or put energy into it. It takes care of itself. If you believe you're doing the right things, it all evens out in the end. I feel like I'm in the right spot." He then went out there and spoke about the fans in Minnesota and the fact that he wanted Argentina to win on Sunday. So that's a pretty good article. I'll leave a link in the description. Go out there and check it out. It's Ben Kuzma. But speaking about that Zeev Buium, we also got to talk about the guy that Buium was traded for, Quinn Hughes, and his out-of-nowhere connection to Jessica Alba, of all people. I mean, take a look at what Jessica Alba, celebrity, actress, Invisible Woman, before the current iteration of the Fantastic Four, posted onto Instagram. She had her epic day at the FIFA World Cup Final. What a game, what an incredible month filled with celebration, unity, and so many unforgettable matches. I mean, there she is. There's the game. There are some more photos here. There's Mr. Beast. Okay, what's up, Jimmy? He also got married, didn't he? Nice going, Jimmy. But then you got these folks. What the hell? No way, that's so weird. Jessica Alba hanging out with Jack, Quinn, and Luke? Bruh. I know I don't want to be coming across as the guy that's ogling at what all celebrities are doing at all times, but this is kind of interesting, right? Quinn, Jack, and Luke hanging out with Jessica Alba, of all people. That is definitely something I did not have on my bingo card in 2026. Where was the final game held? It was in MetLife Stadium, right? Where was the FIFA final played? And yeah, okay, MetLife. So New York, New Jersey Stadium. No wonder Quinn and Jack and Luke were all there, right? It's in New Jersey. Quinn's just visiting his brothers. Jessica Alba seemed to have had a fine time over there. But yeah, seems like there was a pretty interesting group of people that were meeting up and hanging out at these World Cup games. For Quinn Hughes, of course, this is a pretty interesting Vancouver connection because when I think of Jessica Alba, I think of Fantastic Four. These movies were filmed all over Vancouver. You just look at some of the aerial shots, you look at some of the scenery, the buildings in the background, and it's oh, there is so much Vancouver in these Fantastic Four movies, both the original 2005 one and then the, what was it called? The Rise of the Silver Surfer or the Rise of Doctor Doom? No, Doctor Doom is the earlier one, right? I'm not too sure. I didn't really watch these movies too much when I was growing up, but there was a Blu-ray in my household. So, yeah, kind of interesting connection there, right? You can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about Zeev Buium expressing his desire to get back at it and his knowledge on the system to be heading into this upcoming year? And what are your thoughts on the Hugheses hanging out with Invisible Woman? Certainly not something I thought we would see, but you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this British Ashroll 9, and bye.